Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Mindy, aka Dirty Keto Grandma, and I just wanted to start by saying thank you to anybody and everybody who either liked my first video or subscribed to our channel. I really appreciate all the love and support already. This is just video number 2, but I want to jump right into what I learned about keto, what I researched in the beginning, why I decided to do it, and where I started. So I do what everybody else does, and I decided to Google, which is funny because 10 years ago when my daughter was in high school, I used to ask her, like, do you really think you can just Google everything? Do you think you're obtaining accurate information? And she was like, absolutely. So I've actually utilized Google quite a bit now recently. So I basically Googled keto, ketogenic diet, what it's all about. And I read a bunch of stuff on Google. And then I also printed out a bunch of stuff for myself in the very beginning. Again, I've only been doing this for about 4.5 months. I started on June 14th. But again, I went on Google and I Googled keto and like what it's all about. And basically, I mean, without like reading every single freaking, because I printed everything. I like to read stuff. I do read a lot online, but I work on a computer in an office setting all day, 8 to 5. I'm looking at a computer screen all day, so sometimes the bright lights, I like to print stuff out and read it. I like to turn the page and read. Brief breakdown, ketogenic diet, basically it's a high fat. They want you to do about 75% of your fats, 30% protein, and then like 5% be your carbs. It is low carb. It's not no carb. They want you to eat healthy carbs, but basically 20 to 50 grams of carbs a day maximum, and that's coming from not bread, not pasta, not rice, not potatoes. That's coming from healthy vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, eggplant, squash, asparagus, green beans. I can go on and on with the list of vegetables and good carbs that are out there. Some carbs from dairy, string cheese. We'll get into the foods here. But that's basically it. I mean, it says here, focus on a high fat, low carb, things like eggs, meats, dairy, low-carb vegetables, and sugar-free beverages. You want to try to stay away from like high-processed items, super high like saturated fat stuff, like deep-fried chicken. Make it baked now and put it in the oven. Or if you're going to fry it in a pan, try to choose healthier fats and oils, avocado oil, olive oil, those types of things. So basically, let's see how we can break this down here. Ketosis sounds like a fancy word, and it really is. Like, ketosis is basically what happens when your body doesn't have enough carbohydrates, which is sugar, carbs, sugars. A lot of us run on all those things constantly. If your body doesn't have enough of those, enough carbs to burn energy, it's going to start finding other things to burn. In my case, I need it to be fat. So when keto says like do 20 to 50 grams of 20 to 50 grams of carbs a day, I'm staying at 20, if not even lower than that, because I need to burn fat right now. I'm in a weight loss mode where I need to lose weight right now. Someone that's healthy and is just maintaining a healthy lifestyle and doesn't need to lose weight, they may not need to go so high on the fats. They can incorporate some other carbs here and there. That's fine, whatever you might need to do. It's beneficial for some people, but not all. They always tell you, check with your doctor before you do any kind of diet. Basically, it takes about 2 to 4 days for your body to burn off all of that sugar in the carb. It's going to take a minute for you to really get your body into ketosis. It's not like something you can just do overnight. Like, I started my journey on a Monday morning, June 14th. Doesn't mean that just when I woke up that day I'm in ketosis. I'm keto now because I just decided I'm going to cut. It takes a little while for your body to actually get into ketosis. And then once you're in ketosis, the fat burning just keeps going, and you just have to keep that going. If you have a ton of sugar or some carbs, you basically broke that, and you got to kind of start all over again. Not like the weight loss, but you just got to start all over as far as getting back into ketosis, so your body's burning fat and burn off those carbs and that sugar real quick. There's all kinds of different types of keto. People think like there's just one way of keto and that you have to stick to that one way, but it's not true. There are different ways of doing keto. Like for me, again, I'm in weight loss mode, so I want to ingest healthy fats, moderate amounts of protein, good lean protein, chicken, nice lean pork tenderloins, a nice good cut of beef with good fat on it, like a ribeye steak, or a nice, stick to more lean proteins like chicken, pork, fish, tuna, salmon, those kind of things. But I looked up different types of ketogenic diets. There's literally the standard ketogenic diet, a low carb ketogenic, very low carb. There's high carb ones where you cycle carbs. These are ones that are for like athletes or people that do a lot of sports and burn a lot of fat and protein and they're building muscles. Like, that's not me. Strict keto as opposed to dirty keto or lazy keto. The classic ketogenic diet involves carefully calculating your macros. So they want you to take those numbers I gave you in the beginning, percentage of this, count that, how many grams of carbs do you have a day, keep that below 20, how many grams of protein do you have a day, and then how many grams of fat do you have a day, calculate those by calories. That to me is clean keto. You're doing clean keto and you're sticking to everything, you're calculating everything, you're doing everything by the book. That's clean keto. And basically, when you're calculating all those things, your body burns mostly fat. However, on dirty or lazy keto, it's a little less strict. You don't pay attention to things like counting every little tiny gram of things. You definitely pay attention to like not eating the carbs. Like, yeah, it's a lot easier for me to do dirty keto. I don't like the word lazy because I'm not being lazy. I'm getting out of that lazy mode of the fat girl, like I'll put it off till tomorrow, or I'll just have a few M&Ms as opposed to the whole 1 pound bag, or so I don't consider it lazy. I consider it to be dirty keto, and my definition of that is low carbs. I do consume in veggies, dairy, and some sugars are technically, sugars are carbs, carbs are sugars, but I do not consider it to be lazy. I focus on trying not to eat carbs at all. I don't eat any bread, no pasta, no potatoes, none of that. I only put in healthy fats, and I try to make that more fat than protein because I do get a good protein in my chicken, the pork, the tuna, the salmon. I get protein in the eggs. We'll talk about eggs. I'm telling you what, they're a freaking miracle. But my biggest struggle is sugar. I'm good with like the fats, the protein, cutting out the carbs. My carb issue is the sugars. And honestly, it's not that I'm putting sugar in anything. It's just that some of the things I like, just a couple of things, like my creamer in the morning for my coffee. It's an almond milk creamer. It only has 4 grams of sugar, but it's sugar, and I shouldn't be doing that. And I also do the intermittent fasting, which I'll talk about here in a minute. I'll get into intermittent fasting way more in the next video. This one, I just want to focus on keto, what I learned about it, and how I got started. So not to keep going on the notes, because I'm not going to go on and on about that. So I basically just read all this information I could. What foods I could eat, what I couldn't, or what I shouldn't. Which basically, it's not a huge long list of stuff you cannot eat. It really isn't. When people say keto is restrictive, it really is not. It's only as restrictive as you make it. I mean, really, there are so many things. The carbs, obviously, no bread, no pasta, no rice, no potatoes. I mean, I guess you could eat those things if you want to eat them in very little moderation. And if you're trying to lose weight, I wouldn't eat them at all. But let's say you love potatoes, like I do. Potatoes are definitely, they're carby, they're starchy. You shouldn't eat a potato like every day, but if you were to say cut a potato in half or have one small baked potato, a little butter, a little sour cream, because butter and sour cream are keto friendly. If you were to have that occasionally with a steak, I mean, it's not going to kill it, but you definitely want to stay away from those kind of things if you can. Replace them with healthier carbs that are better for you, healthier vegetables. Corn is considered a grain, so they definitely want you to stay away from grains like oatmeal and granola bars and corn. I do popcorn because I feel like popcorn is a healthy snack and the grain is puffed, so it's not, but that's just my way of thinking. Again, I'm not following anyone's strict rules or regulations. I'm doing what works for me. I've cut out all junk food, all pop, all candy, all fast food. Cut out all that stuff that I love to eat. Donuts, cakes, candy, chips, all that stuff that I would have here at home. Ice cream in the refrigerator. I've cut out all that stuff. And I've replaced a few things with some healthy options that we'll get into. Again, so even though I'm still learning things and I'm still starting this process, I feel like it's pretty simple to follow. For the most part, if you just stick to your plan, I'm going to cut this out, I'm going to do that, and this is my plan every day, this is my meal plan. I don't prep meals. I boil eggs, take them to work. I do a little prep, but and I feel like maybe don't try to replicate all the cakes and snacks and all those things that you really, really like and don't want to give up. I get it, man. I really do. But the cravings will go away because it did for me after a couple weeks. I mean, I am a true fat kid on the inside, man. I love all that stuff. I don't like to say a food addict because we all have to. I obsess with food. I love it. I'm just like anybody else that I love it. It just, everything that tastes good, I love everything about it. But you'll get over those cravings for like the candy bars and the ice cream is a huge struggle for me, but I found some healthy keto ice cream I'll tell you about. I've heard to stay away from the keto products, but I'll tell you about this one. So I'm a firm believer that like if you want to change, you really have to want it, man. You have to like want it and you have to keep wanting it every single day. Like, I'm serious, man. You gotta be your own pep, what do they call them, the girls, the cheerleaders, yeah, man, those pep rallies where they like pump up the football players, like, yeah, man, I mean, you got to do that every day. You got to be confident. You got to be inspired by other people. I search for inspiration every day to keep myself motivated and focused. And be yourself. Be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to be Halle Berry or Michelle Phillips or whoever you want to be. Mary J. Blige, whoever, be you. I'm creating who I've always wanted to be. I've always been this fat girl that was picked last for things, that gets looked past for things, and I'm done with that, and I'm changing things. So keto was my first step. My first keto meal was my lunch, because I skip breakfast now. I don't eat until noon. And I eat eggs and I eat bacon. For the first 8 weeks, every day, Monday through Friday at work, I ate 2 eggs and 2 pieces of bacon. Then I would have an afternoon snack, and that was at noon, maybe 12:30. By the time I got downstairs, I just scrambled the eggs, put them in the microwave, fluffed them up, took like a minute and 30 seconds, pre-cooked bacon, put it in the microwave, 25 seconds. You think, hey, I'll get bored of eating the same exact thing every single day, but a lot of people do it every day. They'll pack their lunch for the whole week, every single night, same thing, turkey sandwich with Swiss on this, side of this, or so. You can switch it up. I didn't have to eat eggs and bacon every single day, but that's what I decided to do, just to see what it would do. In that first 4 weeks, I ate 2 eggs and 2 pieces of bacon every day at noon. And then about 2:30, 3 o'clock, sometimes a little later, because that 2 eggs and 2 pieces of bacon would leave me full. And at my heaviest, when I just weighed myself in June, I hate to even say it, 270 pounds. So, and I was used to eating like burgers and fries for lunch, chicken, you know what I mean, pizza, whatever, like eating heavy, greasy stuff. So 2 eggs and 2 pieces of bacon kept me pretty satisfied for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. Come 2:30, 3 o'clock, I'd be a little bit peckish. Okay, I can use a snack. Or I still had that mentality of, hey, I'm bored, so I need to put something in my mouth. So come 2:30, 3 o'clock, I would have a snack. But I'm not having donuts and milk or a Polar Pop and a bag of Doritos. I have maybe a handful of nuts, and not a big handful. Like the package says, 1 serving of healthy almonds. I can have 28 almonds. That's a good little bit of almonds. I'll have 1 string cheese stick that's got 1 gram of carbs in it. It's a decent snack. It fills you up. Little handful of nuts, some cheese. I'm good. That's 2:30, 3 o'clock. I'm off at 5 o'clock. I come home. I come straight home from work. I work out. At that time, my first 4 weeks, I only did 15 minutes of cardio. I would do it in the morning as soon as I woke up before I went to work. Come straight home from work. Another 15 minutes of cardio, take a shower. By then, it's maybe 6:30, going on 7. Dinner's done. We eat. I'm done eating before 8 o'clock at night. Even if it's right at 8, 7:45, we're plating the food. I'm done eating at 8. I don't eat anything else after 8 o'clock. Water only for the rest of the evening. We're only up till maybe 10 o'clock. Go to bed. Get up in the morning. Water only. Work out. Now we're walking. But for that first 4 weeks, worked out. Water. I do drink coffee. I drink 1 cup of coffee. It's a good sized cup in my mug, to-go mug I take to work. And I do put probably 2 to 3 good-sized tablespoons of my cream. Almond milk, it's only got 3 grams of sugar, but it's probably not good for me. And everything I've read and videos I've watched and stuff I've Googled, I'll tell you real quick about the YouTubers here in a second that I watch. Well, the videos I've watched, and then I only watch really one keto YouTuber. I'll tell you about it in a minute. And then that's all. I just fast. I don't have anything but my coffee and water. I get to work at 8 a.m. and I don't eat anything until noon, about 12:30. When I do eat, from what I've read and heard in these videos, and I've got a couple doctors that I follow, a nutritionist, they say eggs are the best thing to break your fast with. And I truly believe it. People, I lost 19 pounds in the first 4 weeks. And again, like I said in my first video, this was probably a lot of water weight, but it was still 19 pounds. I mean, it's a hell of a motivational encouragement when you step on that scale and you've lost 19 pounds. I was like, talk about a natural high. I was on a euphoria that day. Like, I could go out back and like lift my car off the ground. I felt so energized to just keep this going. The next 4 weeks, I was like, I kept the eggs and bacon going. I did switch it up occasionally. Instead of scrambling them, I would hard boil them the night before, pop out the yolks, mix them with a little mayonnaise, make some deviled eggs. You can add a little mayonnaise. They tell you to add mayonnaise to everything to add a little bit of fat. Like good mayonnaise, I mean, mayonnaise is mayonnaise, but I do the avocado like Hellman's mayonnaise. It's killer. Or the olive oil one's killer. But I compared them both, and really the olive oil one is not that much different than the regular Hellmann's or the Dukes or the Heinz or whatever it is you like. I don't check Miracle Whip because I don't do it, but it was the second month because I consider a week 28 days. Four weeks in a month, and there's 7 days, 28 days. So I weigh myself every 4 weeks. So I kept going with the eggs. I switched it up with the bacon. I would do maybe a sausage occasionally. I'm not a big sausage person. They really don't recommend a lot of like bacon and sausage. They recommend that in moderation. I stuck with the bacon because it's less processed. It might be a little like cured or whatever they call it, or hickory smoked, but and then I really started switching it up when I really was starting to get like burnt on how I was eating the eggs. I incorporated the avocado with the egg just to give it some different. Olives, I love olives. I look on the jar, they're like super low in calories, a little bit of fat, like, and they're really good for you. I'll eat like 9-10 olives right now, little green ones with pimentos in them. This keto snacks. You got deli meats with a slice of cheese or an avocado, hard-boiled eggs with a spoonful of mayo. They always say throw that mayonnaise in there to add a little bit of fat. Cook it with butter to add a little bit of fat to it. Good butter, you know what I mean? Like we use the fairly decent like real butter, or I can't believe it's not butter for certain things, but then I do buy some of that Kerrygold. It's like the grass-fed stuff. They sell individual sticks of it. It's the garlic herb. Hello. Delish. Let me tell you what. We put that on all kinds of stuff. Broccoli, cauliflower. I put it in the pan. I mean, I'm cooking now. I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't cook, but I put it in the pan after I get ready to like make the chicken all like crispy on the grilled part of it, and just put like a pat of that butter in there and let it like get all over the chicken. I'm telling you, steak, like if you like your steak cooked in like some garlic butter, like one of the steak Outback or whoever does that. Let me tell you what, the Kerrygold regular butter is good too. It's a little pricey. The one stick of the garlic and herb butter, I think it's like $1.98 at Walmart. I do all my shopping at Walmart. Everything. Other than Giant Eagle, I go for my coffee creamer sometimes because they have more of a variety of the almond milk creamers. And then I go there for this ice cream. Now, I done dropped Kerrygold, the butter. I'm telling you, that stuff is like, it's delicious. You can get, I think it's a 4-pack of sticks, not garlic herb, for like $3.48 or something. It's not horrible. It's not like liquid gold, but it's cheaper than orange juice. Orange juice is liquid gold. Plus, you can't drink orange juice because it's so high in carbs because of the natural sugars. But back on track. The butter, they got a Kerrygold like ghee that's right there too. I think it's some kind of like clarified butter. I'm wanting to try that, but that thing's like $6 something for a little jar. I'm like, that stuff must be like, you use that sparingly. But all right, I digress. I go to Giant Eagle for the creamers. I do the almond milk ones. They're great. And then I found my keto ice cream there. Hey, thanks for watching part 1 of the how I got started with keto, guys. Here's part 2. I hope you enjoy.